How do you like your SCHMEAT?
Medium.
SCHMEAT. Picanha, Kevin Lee. You ready to dig into this thing or what?
Yeah, man. What a combination. Let's go, Schmo.
Let's go.
Let's get it. That's all right. Good fat on the side. I'm gonna give it about an 8.
Solid 8?
Solid 8. They cooked this well. They know what they're doing back there.
This is the Schmo with the pro. He's the Motown Phenom. He's Kevin Jesse Lee Jr. in the flesh outside of Pequeño, Las Vegas, Nevada. Just finished a meal. How we doing?
Feeling great. I'm feeling great. I'm back in Vegas. Spent 7 years here. Feels like a second home. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, always good to talk to you, Schmo. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's like you never left, though.
Almost like I never left, but I'm coming back better than ever.
There it is. That's what the Schmo was going to ask you. You're coming back better than ever. What's new with Kevin Lee?
Yeah, so I'm signed with the GFL. It's getting a lot of buzz lately. You hear guys like Tyrone Woodley talking about it. I think Paige Van Zandt just talked about signing with them too. They got some big names, and we're going to put on a good show. And for me, the biggest thing in this next phase of my career is really trying to elevate MMA as a whole. And GFL seemed like the perfect opportunity to do that. They got great contracts. Everything's in black and white. 50-50 split for the fighters. So it's time that we actually get paid like real athletes.
So when will you be competing, and who would you like to be competing against? What are the names we're talking here, Kevin?
Yeah, right now everything is going to be announced at the end of January. January 24th is the draft. They're doing it live on YouTube and anywhere else that you can stream. They're going to announce the cities that the teams are competing in. And they got some big names that they're throwing around. I hear Tony Ferguson is out there somewhere. And we need to run that fight back. That needs to be the fight to happen. They've approached me with a few names. Anthony Pettis, Jeremy Stevens. There's some good fights to be had. But for right now, I think Tony makes the most amount of sense. So wherever Tony's at, if he's hiding somewhere, if he's still in the game, and if he still want to make it happen, I think now's the right time to make that happen.
So why do you cook and order your steaks schmedium?
Medium is the way to go. Okay. You gotta have it medium. You gotta have it. You gotta have a little. It's not blood. I keep telling people it's not blood. It's protein. Is a protein called myoglobin that make that red happen. Yeah, you gotta eat it medium for sure.
But between you and your brother, who's the better cook?
The better cook? Me. Okay. Facts. Hands down. I think he even tell you that. He can do certain things. I can't touch his mac and cheese. I give him that. He can do that. He can do the sides and all that. But if you're talking about the hardcore, yeah, that's me.
That's you.
All day.
All day.
All day.
Hey, yeah. What'd you make of Khabib getting kicked off the airplane on Saturday night? Yeah. You see that story? Frontier Airlines.
Yeah, that's nuts. That man got millions. He shouldn't be flying Frontier. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I mean, that's like Spirit. I've probably been kicked off 1 or 2 Spirit flights my damn self.
What'd you do?
I'm black on a Spirit. I'm black. What do you mean? Like, you see me. Okay. What'd you think?
You got kicked off? Would you cause a scene, or you just, left politely?
I never cause a scene. Okay. He didn't cause a scene either. I respected the way that he went about that. Sometimes people want to draw a reaction out of you, and he was calm and composed the whole time, and walked off like a man. So I respect him for that.
You fought for his promotion, Eagle FC.
Correct.
So what was your encounters with Khabib like over the years?
Yeah, it's mutual respect between the two of us. I think that was the last time we did a interview together, really, was for that Eagle promotion. Eagle had a lot of promise to it. It's a shame that it didn't pan out in the way that it did, but it's on a bigger and better. So after that fight, I tore my ACL in that fight. I had to come back to the UFC, but I got the surgery now. I can jump through the roof if I need to, and I'm 100% healthy. I'm still 32 years old. For some reason, people think I'm a lot older because I've been fighting a long time, but I still got a lot of years left in the game. At the same time, I'm not stupid. I know now is the time to really make something happen, and I'm not taking my foot off the gas. For these next 3 years is the time that I can compete at the highest levels, and I'm gonna make sure that I do that.
Well, the Schmo was there when you've been competing at the highest levels. A few years back, getting ready with you. We've done some grappling back in the day.
Yeah, man.
When we were calling for 165-pound weight division. By the way, with the GFL, are you fighting at 165? Is that the lightweight division there?
So it's technically lightweight. It's a lightweight fight, but we weigh in at 165. So that's one of the things that they're doing. They're tackling a lot of problems that we got in MMA. And I've said it before, and some of the problems that we got in this community is that we like to complain about it, but we don't like to see nobody do nothing. This guy, Darren Owens, is putting his money where his mouth is, and he's actually trying to fix the sport as a whole. So it's a lightweight fight, but we're not cutting those extra 10 pounds. I mean, I'm ready any day to make 155. I can make 155, and you give me 2 months, I can make 155 at any time. But having 165 and not being able to, having to drain myself even more, it makes sense to me.
So the Schmo's felt you. You're a killer. Run the tape.
What was wrong with that? What was that wrong with that?
I need to see some leg behind you. Something. Yeah,
I don't want you to
drop.
drop.
You good. You got it.
Okay.
Yep. Yes. A little better. But you see how you fell over and took yourself down? Try not to do that next time.
Okay. That's a ground and pound.
Training at Kill Cliff FC, you're
Yeah.
with a bunch of killers. A lot of people talk about this Shavkat Rakhmonov guy
Yeah.
potentially being a future champion of the welterweight division.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Why is this guy undefeated? And is he the boogeyman over there at the UFC at the welterweight division?
Yeah, I can see him being champion for sure. He's very well composed, and he's killer. He's a killer. He's got the killer instinct. I mean, when you watch that fight with Jeff Neal and him catching that submission in an unorthodox position, he didn't train for that. Like that's something that's God given. That's something that's inside of him. So I can see him being a UFC champion, no doubt.
And what's the most entertaining thing that you got going on these days when you're not preparing inside the gym?
Yeah.
Is it just eating food with the Schmo, or what's the deal here?
Yeah, I'm branching off into the restaurant industry. You know, part of going through these injuries has made me think about my life as a whole and really trying to build something that's everlasting. So I'm branching into the restaurant industry. I got a little restaurant going. It's got great clientele. I'm making a little buzz for myself, making a name, and I can cook, and I like to cook. That's always been my yin to my yang in my life. I train all day and then I cook at night. And now it's time to bring the cooking and do for other people. This next stage of my life is really trying to help other people. And that's one of the things that I'm doing.
Doors not closed with the UFC?
Not at all. Not at all. I want the biggest competition out there. That's where I really learn about myself. You feel me? Like that's where when I compete against the best, that's when I learn the most about myself. And that's what martial arts and fighting is all about. So I would love to compete against the top guys, Islam and these guys. You know, I was scheduled to fight Islam at one point. I was pushing very hard for that fight before I fought Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira was my last fight at lightweight. And yeah.
You were the last fight before the world shut down for the UFC. One half of that main event. You and Charles Oliveira, March 14th, 2020.
Yeah. And I pushed, you know, there was a lot of back and forth with that event. They didn't know if they were going to put it on, and I remember Reed Harris coming up to me and saying, "Thank you for actually putting it out there that you want to fight and you want to do it in Brazil," which the whole world was going crazy at that point. I think I've done some good things for the company, and I don't think that the door's closed there. It's just right now we're with GFL. Right now, I'm gonna try and expand MMA, and if this thing goes well, if a 50-50 split between the fighter and the promotion goes well, I can see them actually changing the UFC contracts and actually benefiting the sport as a whole. Maybe now we can get some real high level athletes who aren't gonna just go to the NFL and go to the NBA and go to these other places, and they look and they see, okay, we can make a real career out of this.
Islam or Arman? Who do you got this weekend? UFC 311.
Good question. I think a lot of people are counting Arman out. I've seen him grapple. I've seen him move around. He's very good. He's good. He's super flexible, super dynamic in different positions. I think he's a live dog in it. I think he's a live dog in a fight. I'm not going to pick who wins or lose, but I think it stands a much better chance than people give him.
What's he need to do to win the fight, though?
To win that fight, he's got to stay tenacious. He's got to stay on him. He's got to, even if you lose some positions, he's got to keep going. And I think that's truly the way to beat some of these Russian fighters. You got to keep going. You can't let them get above and then stay at their own pace. He needs to set the pace, and regardless of what positions that they're in, he needs to keep going.
Toughest fight you've ever been in your life?
The toughest fight, physically?
Yeah.
The Charles Oliveira fight. That was a tough fight. I didn't realize how good Charles was when I accepted that fight. I didn't figure out how good he was until that second round. Midway through the second, I'm like, man, he's actually pretty good. He tore my knees to shred in the first round, and then he just kept going, and I was like, man, this guy's good.
So the next time we see the Motown Phenom, it's going to be here in a few months. GFL, Las Vegas?
To be determined if it's Las Vegas, but it's going to be GFL. GFL for sure in April. If you want to know where, if you want to know exactly what's going on, tune in on January 24th. They're going to sign a whole lot of different guys. They've already got a lot of big names going, and now they're going to get the prospects out there, and we're going to get some answers.
Final message for all the Motown Phenom fans out there worldwide.
Stay tuned, baby. Stay tuned. We still just getting started. I've been saying it for years, and now we in our prime, and we going to keep going.
There it is. He's the pro. I'm the schmo. Good steak.
Always. Good to see you, Schmo.
Great to see you, too. We're out.